Hey everybody, NW Order for Life here with Akame Got Kill episode 10 review. Um, uh, Day late, sorry about that. I had some stuff going on. So the episode starts with Tatsumi being forced to watch the Jaegers take out a bandit fortress. And you can see Tatsumi is really angry, looking at Seryu, being reminded that she killed Shiel or Shelley, or however it's pronounced, and you know he really wants to just get in there and kill them, and he has to learn to control his anger. He says to himself, he's reminded of what his big bro Bulat said before he died, to control his anger, and it's some good character development for Tatsumi to keep himself cool and under pressure, or cool while under pressure. Um, so then we see while Seryu is fighting, Koro, her Tegu, bites her arm, and the metal arm becomes a giant drill. Not a giant, but a really big drill on her arm. And she uses it to drill through the enemies. And then Koro bites her again. It becomes a long range, like cannon kind of thing. And so it's like kind of looks like like the barrel of a sniper, but like wider, and shoots like cannon fire. It's really powerful. And we find out that Dr. Stylish says that he is the reason that her arms are like that, because he used his Tegu named the Protector, which looks like gloves on his hands. And then Kurome says, Kurome is killing all the bandits, and she's like, oh, I'm going to reassemble you guys later and play with you like my dolls. So, that's an ominous, saying. What did she mean by that? Um, and dwell on that, and come to whatever conclusion you come to. But it must mean something, right? And then we have Bowles. He uses his Tegu, which is this like flamethrower thing. He calls it Purgatory's Invitation Rubicante, and it looks, like a flamethrower, and he's burning people alive. And then we have Ron using his angel wings, and if you ever watched X-Men, Archangel. That's pretty much what Ron is. Ron is like Angel, with the angel wings, being part of his Tegu or whatever. And then he flaps his wings once or twice, or whatever he does, and makes feathers come out off the wings and just like goes super fast through his targets like darts, just punctures them and they're dead. And Tatsumi is and his runs Tegu is called Masterna. Thousand mile flight Masterna. So Tatsumi is thinking like, oh, Esdeath really likes me, and I bet I can get her to change her ways, if she wants to be with me. So he tries to express that to Esdeath, to get her to understand that he's not on the Empire's side, that he doesn't want anything to do with this cruel campaign that Esdeath is on. And he even like almost makes a threat in which he says that I don't want us to end up as enemies. So the only way they can end up as enemies is if Tatsumi joins the Revolutionary Army, whatever. And Esdeath slaps him, and she says like, I'm a general. How dare you talk about the Revolutionary Army? And the fact of the matter is, Esdeath just doesn't care what Tatsumi thinks. Tatsumi is saying, I don't want to do this. I don't want to be a part of that. I can never love someone that is like this, that is like that. And she's just like laughing it off, like, oh, you will, in time you'll come to love me. In time you'll accept things, and don't get mistaken, you're not going to change me. I'm going to change you. So Esdeath looks at Tatsumi like a challenge, that like, that she's just going to straighten him out without her torture. She's just going to wait it out, be patient, and straighten him out. And Tatsumi, and as she's showing him real affection. She's She's giving him a kiss. She's laying on top of him. She's talking about being his woman alone and never looking at any other man and being loyal. All these qualities are like qualities that would be in a healthy, real, happy relationship. But you know she doesn't have Tatsumi's best interests in this relationship. She basically wants Tatsumi to conform to her wishes, and as a reward, he'll get what she's offering, even though it's not really a reward per se, because she's willing to give it to him regardless. But like that's the mentality, is that like the more he accepts it, the more he goes with it, the more she's gonna pamper him and spoil him or whatever, which is what she's been doing to all her subjects. She's been mercilessly killing innocent people and opposing forces and torturing and being evil and sadistic. But yet, for her subjects, she'll buy them food, she'll give them vacation, she'll protect their families, she'll treat them like they're precious to her. And that's the reason, is because, they are useful to her, they are loyal to her. And that's kind of what she wants from Tatsumi. But at the same time, Tatsumi's whole demeanor of, being defiant, and his demeanor of not being terrified of her, at least in front of her face, is kind of like a turn on for her, because she's not used to that. So, it's complicated between them. But basically, Tatsumi wants to fight for the people, and she specifically says she can't understand the will of the weak. People that can be killed are less than ants in her mind. Like, Esdeath will only acknowledge or listen or, abide by the will of the strong. If you're strong, then you've got her loyalty. And that's basically what the Empire is. The Empire has the military strength, they have the rule, and as long as they do, she'll serve as their soldier. Because, why would she serve the weak people? People are weak, If, the way I see it, if the Revolutionary Army were to win the war, if they were to kill everybody and Esdeath were to remain alive, she would join them and become a general. Because she believes in fighting for the strong, in living with strength, and that the strong are superior and they're right. Might makes right. Classic mentality of many villains in many different genres, from anime to American cartoons to whatever. And that's what she believes. So, good character development for Esdeath in this situation. Good character development for Tatsumi to try to stand up to her, to ignore her sexual advances, because she comes at him, barely clothed and out of the shower, and throwing herself on him, and he's fighting it. He fights it like a champ, because he's thinking in his head, oh, she killed my comrades. Oh, she's evil. And I respect him for that, because any lesser man would have took advantage of Esdeath and would have made would have took advantage of her, would have done the deed, and then when you think about it, though, how could you really look your dead comrades? When you think of your dead comrades, wouldn't you feel sick to yourself, knowing that, like, that the person behind that you made sweet love to her, it's just wrong. It really is. I mean, a lot of people are gonna say, oh, she's sexy, she's hot, just do it, But I mean, realistically, if you were in that situation and you were scared to death of this evil, sadistic person, I don't think you would give into it too much. Or maybe in that situation, a realistic situation, I don't know. I don't think it'd be so easy to jump into bed with her. But regardless, there's more to talk about, and I'm gotta get through it pretty quickly. So what happens then is the next morning, Tatsumi asks the Jaegers, basically, well, they get put on a mission, and so Wave and Tatsumi get separated, and well, not separated. They get sent to one side of this mountain, fake mountain. Other members go on different missions. Esdeath is later planning on joining Tatsumi at night, to impress him by showing him how strong she is or whatever in her mind. And Wave gets in trouble and is almost attacked from behind by a danger beast, and Tatsumi saves him. And thanks to saving him, um, Wave, and Tatsumi kind of have this little comrade moment, and they fight off the monsters. And by the time Wave is finished, Tatsumi is gone. So Wave gets afraid that Tatsumi is trying to leave and escape. He puts on his Tegu, the Grand Chariot, which is like a blue, um, suit, a blue suited version of the Incursio. They look different, but they also look similar. And he waves ridiculously fast in the Grand Chariot and just zooms up to where it took Tatsumi a long time to reach, by running. And Wave sees Tatsumi in the Incursio. He doesn't know that's Tatsumi. He thinks it's a member of Night Raid, and he tries to attack Tatsumi. And Tatsumi basically just defends himself and tries to run because he knows if he fights, Esdeath and her other, Jaegers will probably, chances are they'll find him and they'll catch up to him. So he doesn't have time to fight. He's got to try to run. So Wave, prattles on about how, Night Raid is evil. They assassinate from the shadows and they disturb the Empire's peace. And Tatsumi fires back saying, "We're not evil. We assassinate, but we do it for the good or whatever." And then Tatsumi calms himself down again, thinking about Bulat, and tries to run away. And Wave kicks him into the water, where Wave, like in a river or whatever, and Wave can't find where he is. He doesn't see Tatsumi come out of the water, So he dashes down the riverbank, thinking that that Tatsumi, the Incursio warrior, swam through the river downwards, and that's why he didn't come up. But in reality, Tatsumi uses the invisibility power of his Tegu Incursio and escapes, by walking out of the river right at the spot where he landed. But Wave didn't see it because he's invisible. And Tatsumi passes out, and he becomes attacked by danger beasts, and he's in danger. And that's when Akame kills the danger beast, and Lubbock comes in, and they all go back home to the Night Raid hideout. And Tatsumi says, as they're going back, that this is where he belongs. These are his people. And then Wave gets kind of like punished by Kurome, and obviously, instigated by Esdeath, where Wave has his hands tied and he's sitting in a seating position where his knees are up, or his knees are facing downwards like this, and there's just blocks of stone being on top of his knees. And Wave is, saying sorry, he won't do it again, but it's coming off as a comical. It's definitely not a cruel Esdeath torture scene. It's like a comical, like how could you let him get away kind of thing. But she warns him if something happens like that again in the future, she will personally take over his torture. So I mean, still don't think it would be a terrible torture, but it would be worse. And yeah, so and then the last thing. Is Tatsumi is telling everybody in Night Raid about his experience with the Jaegers and how Esdeath is, and to be worried and be careful. And they all make a vow to get to take the Jaegers and Esdeath seriously and whatnot. And then we see Dr. Stylish has apparently followed Tatsumi and Akame and Lubbock back to their Night Raid hideout, and Dr. Stylish has these humans that are mutated or modified body modification with his Tegu, and they have enhanced smell and enhanced sight and all these different things, and that's how he found them, because even though Night Raid erased their tracks for these enhanced humans, these bio humans, whatever they are, the tracks weren't erased good enough. So. Overall, it was a great episode. I really enjoyed it. Possibly, I don't know. I keep thinking the episodes get better every week. I think this was better than last week's episode with. Well, no, Bulat's was way better. I don't know if that was last week's. Bulat's was way better. But I'll give it a 9 out of 10. Not perfect, but man, it was really, really good. And just so much character development for Tatsumi and for Esdeath, and Wave we're feeling Wave's character. He's like this guy of justice, real justice, not the evil kind that sadistically tortures people. The kind that believes that, like, he's helping his government and killing evil assassins, not thinking, the way Night Raid thinks, that the evil is in the government, and that, the government officials and evil corrupt people will be killed. So yeah, that's my review of Akame Got Kill episode 10. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. Any comments about the episode or the characters, let me know below in the comments. Rate, and if you like, subscribe for more future videos. Thanks again. Have a great day.